Hi, good afternoon. This is the second podcast that we've got for Game of Thrones after the success we had on the first one, and which we found very enjoyable. Today you have your host Shah Mahmood. Beside me you have Dan Dixon.
Hello.
And we also have a person that was at the bottom. We said a lot of things that basically insulted this person, and he's not happy, so he's here today. That's John Udison. Hi, John.
It's a nice intro, but I'd like to call myself manager of the moment. So, yes, I'm here.
Yeah, a one game week wonder. And then also in the back, somewhere lurking, is we've got a special guest. That's Richard O'Kane. He's just here for the laughter, and just in case if John and Dan get into a fight, Rock can just jump in and get involved as well.
Always.
Next on the list we have is Dan Dixon versus Abu Azim. So Abu done fantastically well. Was behind on Saturday, was behind early Sunday morning, and then came back with the victory thanks to a Lindelof's clean sheet and Lukaku's dominant display against Burnley, scoring 2 goals. Unfortunately getting a yellow card, but that didn't really affect him on the bonus points, which again I have a problem with bonus points, where some cases people get 3 bonus points or they only get 2 or 1 bonus points because they've got a yellow card, but in this case he gets all 3, and it's not a rule 10 before
You're
Dan starts.
complaining again. 2 games covered, 2 complaints.
This is a podcast where I could just complain about things. John can just pimp out his players.
Yeah, you were complaining a lot about me last week.
It was all true.
It was all constructive criticism to motivate you, and I think we can judge ourselves on results. Not like this result.
Yeah, I mean this result. Abu's 18 points just from 2 players kind of just swept past Dan's team, and it was incredible.
Edged past.
Edged past.
But in fairness, he had Dini and Digne on the bench, so there's another 14 there in reserve. Yeah, Agent Gross did his bit by missing a penalty, but sadly the odds were against me.
Yeah, I mean, and looking at Dan's incredible Man City heavy team, it kind of just shows. Is there a flaw in the Man City strategy that you went? I mean, ahead going forward, you looked at it looked interesting. It really did appeal, because potentially one team's clean sheet could result 30 points in, defensive bonuses. But I mean, what's your thoughts on your City defence strategy or City team strategy?
Well, I don't want to give away all of the strategy, assuming there is a strategy. Time will tell.
Yep.
They're a good bunch of lads. They've got their heads down. They're working hard in training to try and overcome this bad run of defeats, and we'll take each game as it comes.
Yeah, and John, what's your view on this? Dan City's, Man City strategy of having mostly City players in the back line, and also, Abu's success recently. Abu is 2 points clear, top of the league. He's just flying. His team's flying, and it seems like every change he makes, it still comes back with a W.
So I'll start with Dan's team. The back is very strong. Walker, Mendy, and Laporte, and the keeper obviously. I think that they'll get him a lot of points week in, week out. That back. Morris looks to be a rotational player, so we'll see how many points Morris can pick up. Not too sure whether Mkhitaryan will do much, and the front 3, not too sure if there'll be many points there.
I'm not sure about Mickey either. But luckily he's not my problem.
And let me just not to put it all on Dan's team, maybe kind of dissect Abu's team here. So when I look at this team, I question the longevity of Abu reigning in top place. So Lukaku, yes, will get him a lot of goals. Kane also. Eriksen, not
So Eriksen hasn't really kicked on this year. So you feel like law of averages suggests he's going to start doing something soon.
You see, his keeper, his Wolves keeper, got him 7 points, and that could have been a deciding factor in your match. But how often is he going to keep a clean sheet?
No, I agree. I think he's made a choice of going for keepers. Well, one keeper who potentially has a lot of shots to save and will take the 2 points and any bonus points from saves.
Yeah.
And Lino for Arsenal, who has to get his chance at some point, until Arsenal sort their defence out and start realising football's a two-way street, I think the struggle to see him keeping clean sheets as well.
Can I just give a bit of a projection as well? So I'm expecting a downfall from Abu to start anytime soon. So yeah.
I mean, you've got to commend a person that's willing to sacrifice the best midfield in the league going into game week 1. He had a fantastic team pulled together, and with having Benjamin Mendy in firing at full form, and him selling that player is very commendable. His tactic in bringing in 2 grade A superstar strikers, which is Kane and Lukaku, where it does work. We've shown it this game week. He only needed 2 players to perform, and Lukaku was that person. As long as he has Lukaku or Kane performing each game, then potentially he's there for a possible win. So
I think Abu's been pretty consistent. If you look at his points, 48 versus 40, 44 versus 41, 47 versus 36. He was playing Ed. Sorry, Ed. And then 42 plays 40. So I think he's pretty consistent. 40 to 48 will probably win most weeks, but all it takes is come up against John and a couple of strikers fire away, or come up against a City clean sheet. There's a lot that could. There's some likely scenarios that would scupper him. He's just been lucky so far.
Who do we think is likely to have to forfeit?
So as mentioned in the last podcast, one of the laws is whoever is leading at the end of a round ceremony after 5 game weeks will have to sacrifice a player that's played and scored points in more than 50% of the games of the round. In Abu's case, because he's sold so many players, potentially he has Patricio, Davies, Eriksen and Kane, and potentially Digne. I need to go back. I don't know. I think he's not played enough. Yeah, so it is Patricio, Davies, Eriksen and Kane. Some great opportunities for anyone that's on the bottom. So be that John or James. Dan. I gotta be open, Dan. I'm just saying John just to tease him. It'll be interesting to see who he picks as his round 1 sacrifice player. But he's still not there. He's only 2 points clear. A loss and a win from Binesh in game week 5 can turn that around and have Binesh getting that victory and jumping into first. So
and Binesh has got Greg. So
Binesh got very very good point.
It's going to be difficult to see past the Binesh win there.
Yeah, no, definitely.